Century. I had one about 5 or 6 years ago, and I had a parts car, and I ended up pulling this off because it was in such nice shape, no cracks whatsoever. And I saved it all this time, and I don't have the car anymore, and I decided I'd maybe throw it on Craigslist to sell it. Anyway, yesterday, I dropped it. So today, we are going to make something out of this. Repurpose car parts at its finest. Okay, well, so this really made me sad. I had saved this all these years, and the only reason I never put it on my own car was because my car just had a tiny little crack right about here, and it was so insignificant that I was like, if I ever damage it more, I've got a backup. So anyway, let's look over the damage. It's all concentrated right here. This is as far as it goes. I did notice that there was a crack here too, so the force of it falling. You see, it was so difficult to get these in good shape, and most of them were the limited, which had chrome trim here, and the chrome trim ends up sort of like fading and it just doesn't look very good. And I always liked how this was off of a custom, it was called. It was the base model, but it looked so much sharper. But anyway, that's what it looked like on the other side, and it was just really nice. So what happened was, I put it on a high shelf to get it out of my way. Oh, it'll be safe up there. And the shelf must have shifted overnight, and it fell. So, here's what I'm planning on. Let's flip it upside down carefully. So let me flip it over here. So I'm going to get some wood and sort of put it on top of these and use it as a backer. And I'm going to cut off the bad section and then cut it off at the exact same spot on the other side. Let's flip it back over. Okay, so here's where I'm about going to cut. Like, we're probably right in between this area. Yep, right in between. And on the same spot on the other side, I'm also going to cut. And I'm going to leave this little top piece because that will probably, and I'm going to put a shelf on top of it. So this will sit under. And then I'm going to use some sort of bracketry, maybe a little shelf on each side to help cover where I cut. And then this piece is going to go down lower still. And I'm maybe going to have it be like a pedestal sort of table. And this is going to be like going down and into the pedestal. Don't quite have it worked out. I got to get some materials and find out what I can do. But that's what I'm going to do. You know, I kept this for so long, to just throw it out breaks my heart. So I'm going to repurpose it. Hopefully it'll be worth way more than the $50 I was asking for the taillight, which was a really good deal on any taillight for any car. So I'm using masking tape so that I can get a good line versus using, and there's a little notch here which will work out pretty perfectly. That way I can tell where it is I'm going to be cutting. Backside doesn't matter so much, but it really does matter how nicely the top is. So it can sort of illustrate what I'm doing, as right on that line and right there. Now the fun stuff, we cut. So you can see now what I'm going for. I will put a shelf up here and then some sort of box, I think, maybe table legs will flank it here, and I'll make a table out of this that lights up. In fact, I've got two lights that might work very well. And then right here, I'll put like this as a decorative piece. Now I'll trim that piece, and I'll figure out a way to work with how it's actually angled, because that's, you know, the shape of the light. So I'll try to work with that, but I want this to go down and then either have legs coming down here or the legs coming down here. Haven't decided, but it should look really cool when I'm done, and I can still hook bulbs up to it and make it into a lamp where the taillights will light up. Okay, so this is a quick drawing I did to help illustrate of what I want to do with the taillight. So right here, this with the hashes is the taillight itself, and this is possibly the bottom part if I keep it. And then what I would do is I would use just stock wood and then thicker one for the base. And I'm not sure about this. I like the idea of boxes without a back. It kind of look like headlights the way I've drawn them here. And I'm not sure if I would make them individual where they would look like they would just pull out. And then I thought about putting one down at the bottom. This just might end up being a simple, you draw the base, and it just might just be a piece of wood to make the box. But I drew it as a removable component in case I want to maybe paint a different color. They kind of look like headlights, I realize, and just simple stops, and it would be sort of like an end table. Okay, I also had this other idea where I get some sort of legs, like pillars, and pop them there, and then just put something on top, and then just a single piece in between it to hold the taillight if I don't want to use the bottom part. And I had this other idea of making a little, leaving the other bottom part like it is, and maybe making this a drawer or just an open cubby and making a lamp out of this. I thought that might be neat looking too, bookend style. And then this is the other one that sort of catches my eye, is to make these just an L shape from the top and the light, and then this just all be open, and there'd be a base, and then there's just little shelves that are the same height all the way down, and then that's just a flat top and a flat bottom, rectangle, and only those ones are curved. And that kind of gives it a little fireplace looking, and more of almost a mid-century modern looking deal, but I haven't decided. I'm really set on that one. And so until I can get the wood and everything together, these are all just ideas, you know. It's always good to sketch out what you like and to keep drawing, because they might work for this, they might work for something else. But got lots of projects, time to tinker on something else.